Hello and welcome to my channel. I call this look Elder Millennial Swamp Princess. I don't know what I'm doing here. Make it stop. So for this video to make more sense, I think you should go back and watch the previous video where I talk about ritual, open placebos, and how that makes it possible for me to be an atheist and practice witchcraft at the same time. Okay, so before we delve in, we've got a ritual set up here as an example. I'm going to talk to you just a little bit more about what an open placebo is and how it works. So I found online a paper published about a study. The paper was called Open Label Placebos Work If They Are Explained, and that is a big if. It's really important. So the study set up with 3 groups. One group was a traditional placebo, so the participants didn't know that there was no active ingredient. The second group was an open label placebo, so the product was clearly labeled placebo, no active ingredient. And then the third group was given the same open label placebo, and it was given a 15-minute explanation. So what they did, unfortunately, they caused the participants pain. I think it said that they put a hot plate on their skin, and the placebo was an ointment. And so when the traditional placebo was applied to the burn, it didn't heal the burn, and it didn't reduce the pain, because that's not how placebos work. Like, placebos don't do anything. What it did was it gave the participants, like, it helped them deal with their pain. So participants who received the traditional placebo had the expected placebo effect. The second group that had the placebo, that was an open label placebo, where they clearly saw that there was no active ingredient in the cream, they actually had the opposite effect. They experienced a lower threshold for pain and more discomfort. So it actually had like a negative effect. Whereas the third group that received the same open label jar that said no active ingredient, they were also given a 15-minute explanation about the placebo effect and how it can benefit them. That group also was able to cope with their pain more. They rated their pain discomfort lower on a chart, very much matching the traditional placebo group. So if you want an open label placebo to work, then you have to explain the benefits of how a placebo works. Okay, so we're gonna do a ritual for ourselves. This can boost our mood. It can help foster good behavior for ourselves, but it can't cure an illness. It can't cure a mental illness. If you have depression, using a ritual is not going to help your depression. If I'm in a poor mood, it can help me adjust my mood. So if I am a skeptic and I'm doing a ritual and I don't understand the open label placebo effect and how it can really work, then this whole thing can have a negative impact on my mood. It can make me feel worse. But if I understand that the placebo effect is really powerful, and that even though nothing supernatural is happening here, it can still boost my mood, then it can work. And you know, honestly, it's fun. There's a reason people do rituals. They're just really enjoyable. And it's taking something that you're working through in your mind and it's giving it something physical. It's giving your hands something to do. So it's very cold. It's been colder the last few days, so we're gonna do a sigil, which is a written spell. You are gonna hear my furnace blasting in the background. It has been running non-stop all week. It was like 20 below this morning, but now it's a balmy like 5 below with a like 15 below wind chill. So it's not so bad outside. So if I could have done my spell this morning, I could have said, oh, it actually worked in the physical world. Not really. Oh, before we get started, okay, we're not gonna do our written spell until we set the mood a little bit. So for me, a big part of ritual is the smells and the way things look. And for me, it's fire. Oh. Don't burn your house down. So we're gonna cleanse our space a little bit with sage. Sometimes I use incense, but not everybody likes the smell of incense. So since there's no windows that we can open up today, then we're not going to do that. Okay, ooh, so now we have some smoke. That's fun. All right, let's put these away. All right, also I have a nice cozy area set up with lots of little props. I've got my little black cat here. I also have crystals here. Again, crystals are great symbols. Each crystal has a different meaning. Quartz crystal is supposed to focus your thoughts. So, you know, quartz crystal is just silica that has been, you know, the molecules have sort of settled in this beautiful way. So it's not actually magical, but we can use it as a symbol to focus our thoughts. Especially, it's beautiful, right? Crystals are beautiful. Like, if you're not into collecting crystals, if you think crystals are dumb, then I feel bad for you because they're gorgeous. So a sigil is a written spell. And for some reason it takes out all the vowels. I don't know, vowels are wimpy. We just want the consonants. And then what we do is we just sort of meditate and we draw the consonants in whatever pattern we happen to create. Ooh, that's kind of blowing in my face. Okay. So here I've created my sigil. This says feel warm. And I actually, to activate this, you should light it on fire. Anytime you can be dramatic, I think it helps the spell. Usually when I do this, I light it on fire under moonlight, but I don't think I'm going to be going outside anytime soon, so I don't know. I might have to save this sigil to burn when it's nicer outside, and in that case it will come true. I also like to dispose of the ashes in a very dramatic way. Some of the ways you can dispose of the ashes of a burned sigil would be to bury it under a tree. I like to dump them into running water, so that could be like a stream. And honestly, when I burn these under a full moon, it gives me an excuse to go outside and be in the full moon. And when I put the ashes in a running stream, it forces me to go down to the river and, you know, drop the ashes in the water. And those are very serene experiences. So when I do a ritual like this, it forces me to get out in nature and have those experiences. Okay, so what are some benefits of doing a sigil like this, even if you're a skeptic and you don't believe that there's any energies trapped in that ink that are going to help your goals come true? It forces you to really contemplate the purpose behind the ritual, so it makes you stop and think and focus. It gives you some quiet time to yourself because it takes a little while to get this all set up. It's kind of like a craft project, so it feels good that way. And if you burn the ashes under the moon, then it gets you outside, and if you bury the ashes or you put them in a stream, then it forces you to get out into nature. So I think there are definitely some positive things behind doing this ritual, on top of that placebo effect, that it will be soothing for you. It will make you feel better. And I think we're always looking for ways to feel better, and this really beats like racking up Amazon spending. Like, this is not going to damage your bank account. Okay, so I hope that you found that helpful, and maybe we'll make some more videos while the weather is terrible, and we'll see you around. Bye!